The coronavirus ruined my life. I mean, not literally. I don't have corona or anything, nor do I know anyone who does, but, if I stop blaming my failures on things outside of my control, that would almost mean that my misfortune is my own fault, and we can't have that. Not that anyone actually cares, but I am Chinese. My father is Dutch and my mother is from China, meaning that to everyone around me I look Asian, but to other Asians I look white, which in itself is kind of fucking annoying, but that's a story for another time. Being a minority comes with its fair shares of ups and downs, Asians obviously not being an exception, but if I have to be completely honest, being Asian honestly isn't that bad. Aside from the occasional dog-eating remark, Asians honestly don't really have to deal with racism all that much. When people think of Asians, they don't think of things like crime or other bad things, but of, being good at math and shit. That all changed not too long ago though. Ever since the coronavirus outbreak, Asians have shot up on the list of most oppressed groups, easily overtaking groups like women of color or LGBTQ members. They are now firmly seated at the number 2 position, being just a little bit less oppressed than gamers. What started off with people choosing not to sit next to you on the bus quickly turned into actual fucking abuse. Personally, I started noticing people taking a few steps backwards a long time ago. And, even though it kinda hurts, I can understand where they come from. People are rightfully cautious about the whole situation, and in the end, people distancing themselves from me isn't the end of the world, so I honestly can't be too mad about it. However, there was this one motherfucker who instantly packed up his shit and made his escape the moment I entered the room, and dude, that's just fucked up. At least try to make it not look so obvious. Man, I'm sorry my squinty eyes are making you feel uncomfortable, but unfortunately, I can't do anything about it either. Like, I understand that the coronavirus originated from China and shit, but that doesn't mean that Chinese people are the only ones who can have it, and it definitely doesn't mean that you have to be so fucking cautious around any Chinese looking person. I mean, the outbreak didn't stop people from going out, people still go to parties and shit. It only takes a single person to infect every other person there, but they don't seem to mind. Yet, when I'm just minding my own business, they suddenly are scared for their fucking lives. I spent my entire day playing video games, watching anime and making shitty YouTube videos nobody watches. If anything, I'm the least likely person to have corona on this entire fucking planet. In the end, the entire situation just fucking sucks. Not only for the people affected, but just in general. Admittedly, I don't go out much, but whenever I do, I always feel like people are looking at me, like my presence is somehow bothering them. And I wouldn't say that it affects me too much, but at the very least it doesn't make me want to go out more than absolutely necessary. I understand that most of you probably can't relate to this at all, so for those people, imagine this scenario. You are in the gym, working hard, getting swole, preparing yourself to become the protagonist of JoJo Part 9, when suddenly you feel this weird sensation in your mouth. What is this? Am I dehydrated? In an instant you reach for your water bottle and start refilling your body's water reserves. So far so good. But this is where the fun begins. You see, everything happened just a little bit too fast. Your body wasn't mentally prepared just yet. A single droplet of water accidentally made its way into the wrong pipe. Chaos ensues. Screaming, running, screaming while running. Your body is in a complete state of disarray. The body prepares itself for a rapid expulsion of air from the lungs. Not even 1 second later, preparations are complete. The human body truly is a wonder of nature. Coughing commences in 3, 2, 1. It's at that very moment that you realize you've made a great mistake. You see, you were born with squinty eyes. You lost your coughing privileges a long time ago. You suddenly find yourself in a severe dilemma. Do you cough with the possibility of spreading fear within the hearts of everyone around you? Or do you hold it in, knowing that it may come at the cost of your own health? You take a good look at your surroundings. People working on themselves as far as the eye can see. With tears in your eyes, you think to yourself, these hard-working people who time after time push their body and mind to the absolute limit, they deserve better. A single tear rolls from your cheek as you prepare yourself to hold your breath. Time suddenly feels like it's going in slow motion. As more and more seconds go by, the more lightheaded you become. Keeping your eyes open suddenly becomes a challenge. Your entire life flashes by. Wow, you really lived a boring life, didn't you? What happened to this kid with dreams and ambitions? Where did it go wrong? Your consciousness starts to fade away. As your life force begins to dwindle, you come to terms with yourself. Your life may not have played out the way you wanted it to, but at the very least it was fun, right? You prepare yourself for what is to come when the feeling in your throat suddenly vanishes. You open your eyes and take a nice long breath. It seems like you'll live yet another day. Repeat this a couple of times a day, and that's basically what it's like to be Asian.
お前はもう死んでいる。